Declan. I'm here with Asil. I'm here with
David from La Fiesta.
okay. David, if you just want to give a little bit of your background.
Yeah, so I've been living in New York for about 7 years now. I started very low. Started washing dishes in a restaurant, and after 7 years of hard work, consistent, and a lot of things going, 7 years of hard work, I became part owner of La Fiesta. We opened about 2 years ago, and I've been really proud of everything I've done, like everything I've going through, starting washing dishes and going through every position in a restaurant that made me learn everything on this industry until the point that I could open this place and try to throw all my expertise during the past years on this place.
Good. So you've had the unique experience of working in the U.S. economy now that you've been here. You've also had the experience of owning and managing companies in Venezuela. So what's the difference between the two economies? Like, how did you deal with them when you were in Venezuela?
So in Venezuela, the economy was very elastic at some point, which means that the inflation rates were skyrocketing at some point. So as an entrepreneur, you need to figure out way more innovations quicker and how to invest your capital really quick because in a high inflation economy, your money loses values every week. Mm-hmm. So you will have to invest your money immediately, raise your working capital every week, because the trade of goods, the prices will change from 1 week to another. There were restaurants that didn't even have the prices on the menu at some point because they had to change it every week. Wow. So at some point you will go to eat and sometimes, let's say this pizza costs you $10 this weekend, and next weekend you go to eat the same pizza, it was $15. And the next week it was $18, or the next month $20. So everybody had to adapt. And depending where you are, you have to adapt because it's not as easy as like flipping a switch and then all of a sudden you're in a good economy, right? So adapting is part of being successful, especially with all the trends. The economy is more stable. However, as we spoke previously, you have to innovate constantly. There's changes every year. There are things coming up that makes you that you have to do changes in order to keep successful. But like I said, whenever you feel like you're in a weird scenario where maybe you don't have enough money to do something, things like that, that's when your brain starts working. It start like all these thoughts come, like, how do I do this? How do I do that? So in Venezuela, that type of economy made me think faster, ways that I had to do things in order to keep competing. I'm kind of surviving type of mode because at that point, if you don't do it, you just...
I'd say that's kind of plays into your success now, is because you had that quick, you got to think on the fly.
Yeah, you have to hear.
You got to you're in a pretty big environment in the city of Buffalo. You're working in a very high business-driven district, so that's a big factor into it too, to your success.
Yeah, so emotionally, it's you have to be able to control all those emotions. At some point, it's not to look at the emotions too much, just focus on the main goal. Because there's people that probably in this economy, like the bad economy, they could probably fall into depression, or drugs, or
Absolutely.
Things like that. And at some point, depends on who you surround with or your family values. They help me on my family values, and going to college and all these things help me help me stay in track and motivated and be successful until the point of being in America, where where I started, slowly started with probably $1,000 when I moved in. I had to sell my car, uh, had enough money to start my legal process, and then I started riding my bike to wash dishes on a restaurant. So for me, the impact of being an entrepreneur has been, I believe, very positive for my personal life because I learn a lot from people when I talk to everybody in this industry. You meet a lot of people, you know. At the end, people see you there working, but another day you could be on in a different scenario, and these people that you met at some point they could help you in the future in another issue that you're having. So, especially in this industry, for me, it's been a good impact in the personal life, outside um, outside the restaurant. Also, it helps me to, like I said before, surround with people that have businesses. So we talk about trends. Um, we talk about other things in life, how to be, financially independent or things like that. So for me, has had a good impact personally, and that's pretty much. So you guys should find what do you like to do, what do you love to do, and try to build something around it. Like you like football, I don't know, maybe create your own football team or like for kids, or start taking a managerial career or something. You know,
What are your top 3 skills to be a successful entrepreneur?
I feel like top 3 skills. I would think about being resilient would be one of them because not every day you're gonna wake up motivated to do what you have to do. So you have to keep in mind to keep your long-term goals there, so your mindset can be focused on the long term, and you can be persistent and consistent with your day-to-day activities. The second, I would say, being innovative. Um, Things change all the time. You see companies like that in the past, if they didn't innovate, uh, their success, you can be here and then next year you can be there because you didn't innovate, right? We see that, with phones like BlackBerry. One time was a big company, and they never innovated and never do anything. So now they're low, and then Apple innovated. It's up, right? So always keeping look at the trends going on and try to adapt them to your business. Like AI now, things like that.
Let's say like social media plays a big trend too.
Exactly. Imagine if you have a pizza plate and you never open a social media, nobody knows what you make. So that was a big change in the history too, creating the social media profiles.
How has social media affected your business?
Social media has helped a lot my business. I opened a TikTok for La Fiesta, and at the beginning, we were making just fun videos. We didn't even think about that. And at some point, when I go around the tables, as I explained before, I start hearing "Oh, we saw you on TikTok. We're here because we saw you on that video on TikTok." And that was impressive, you know what I mean? Because it's organic. You don't have to pay any advertising company thousands of dollars, and then you can do it organically. That person saw the video and it made them come to dine in. The third skill I would say, to keep surrounding with people that add up to your business. That helps you no matter what. There's people that's gonna invite you to to do things in a different way, and there's people that's gonna help you. Probably it's gonna add value to your business. So that's what you wanna keep in mind, which people you're surrounding with. which people's gonna help your business more, and which people's gonna try to drag you outside of your daily goals, things like that. So it's important to, to look at who am I surrounded with, and who can I share my goals that might help me be better, in my business, and that's pretty good to consider.
So I was just thinking of another question. I was gonna say, how, or what would your advice be to like the younger generation, college kids? What would your advice to get them to follow like their goals and passion? Like what keeps them like on track?
I feel like they should find what they like to do, they love to do. For me, I like this industry. I like talking to people. I like to offer people something that they can enjoy. So I've always been in contact since a kid with this restaurant industry. So for me, that's one of my passions in the hospitality industry. So I feel like everybody should look at what they love to do, and try to start a business around that.
Best way to achieve long-term success in your business?
Okay, for me, long-term success, it means I learned in the past that a small business can be successful after 10-year mark. I don't know if you guys have heard that, but it's one of the breaking points where when you can tell, like, okay, maybe the small business is actually successful, right? And in those 10 years, you need to be very persistent. You need to look at the details, especially on a daily basis operation. You need to offer something different of what everybody's offering, because that's what's gonna make you different. That's gonna make you people choose you, different from another business, right? If you think about La Fiesta, our cocktail menu is way different than any other Mexican restaurant in Buffalo. So we have homemade syrups, we have a butterfly margarita that nobody ever had anywhere.
It's,
you know what I mean?
Very innovative, and that's like,
so
that's
that was my part of my differential point of offering something innovative in this Mexican industry, because the food is almost the same. A taco is always a taco.
Yeah.
Burrito. So I wanted to do that in the cocktail area, and also the way you do your service, it gotta be a little different than everybody does it. Very welcoming. When we do the birthday celebrations, people like that. When we do, kind of bring in a different environment when people go there to make them feel special. So for me, success means, being innovative all the time, do changes, good changes, changes that are based on like trends that are going on, or like choosing what's best for the business. Sometimes we don't like to change things, but those changes actually makes you be better in the future.
How many hours do you work a day on average? And give an outline of like your typical work day.
Okay, usually in the restaurant business requires a lot of physical presence there. For me, I work around, I would say 60 hours, 50, 60 hours a day.
A week.
A week.
Yeah.
So I would say about 50, 55 hours a week right now. So I wake up and, like get ready. I try to do some affirmations in the morning, try to like check my personal life, kind of to keep relaxed, And after that, I get ready. I go in the restaurant and I have like daily tasks, Depends on the day, I will do something. For example, like Mondays, probably go over the week and do some payments, payments of you know, utility bills or orders, things like that. Then you know, let's say Tuesday I will do my orderings. I will order for all the week, like produce, dry goods, liquor, you know. So I have like daily tasks on the week, you know, per day. Um, so on a regular day, you know, I go there. I have a manager task list where I have to make sure, like, I check three special things before opening. That I check are the climate, how's the weather outside, how's the weather inside, how's the climate inside the restaurant. So I make sure I have it properly for my customers for when they come in. I check the lighting, make sure the light is good. If it's too dark out there, you know, have more, you know, more light. If it's too bright, maybe I lower the light, make it feel comfortable for the customer. And then I check the music, you know, I check that if we're opening for lunch, I try to find a playlist of music that's a little more relaxing for people to talk over their business meeting or their lunch meeting. As you know, we're in Allentown, so we get a lot of business people around for lunch. And then in the afternoon, I will focus more on the service, you know. I will try to grab my servers or my staff and let them know if we have a special during the day. Make sure everybody remembers what's going on, like we have this event coming up, or we have this new special, or remember we have these seasonal cocktails, so we have to offer those or let them know, the customers, what we have available. You know, during dinner time, I will go around the tables, make sure everybody check on the customer, make sure I ask how's their experience, how's your server, welcome back. If somebody's coming for different times, I say welcome back. They feel like, oh, okay, this guy's paying attention that I'm coming, you know what I mean? So make them feel different, special. Then at the end of the night, you know, make sure everybody does their side work, which is like different tasks that we do to close down, to clean, to keep the restaurant in good standing, you know. And then I make sure everything shuts down at the end of the night, you know, close down, close the lights, and then I'll head home, you know.
What ignited the spark in you to start a new business venture or to make significant changes in an existing business, and how did the idea for your business come about?
So I started since kid, looking at my father having a successful business. I wanted to replicate that as a kid. So I started building a business on the same how do you say
Same
that?
scale, like same level as him?
Like on the same industry that
same
he was
industry,
working at, right? So he had a produce company that he would distribute produce to public schools, public corporations, government related companies. So I started doing it in like a smaller level with private small businesses. So I will buy the products from the farmers in lower quantities, and then I will have a couple friends that will help me out to select the best products and prepare them for the distribution. And then we will go in like a small truck. We will go and have different stops and deliver it to the business. So since that point, you know, my father inspired me to be an entrepreneur, you know, to try to like have my own business and try to like start from there and don't, you know, try to not to work for a lot of people. At the beginning, I worked for people, you know. My first job was in a restaurant, so I used to cook steaks in a steak restaurant, right? And then from there, I started college, so I didn't have a lot of time to go to college and work at the same time at the beginning. So I left the work and I just studied for like the first semesters until I got on a point like I wanted to start the business, and then I try to administrate the time to like study and at the same time open this produce business. So if I will have to start over again, I will probably try to surround with a lot of more people that has had more experience or more you know, in the entrepreneurial world.
Yeah.
You know, as when you're in college, we're very distracted because we're growing up and looking at trends online and the sports and things like this, so that don't let us focus on what we actually want to do in the future. So I feel like I will surround more entrepreneur people. How do you say?
Yeah, so you just want to surround yourself with more people that are like
that are building
like-minded,
businesses
yeah,
at the same
like-minded
time,
people, yeah.
right? So even back in the day, there was like events where like college kids having business idea or things like that. So I feel at this point I will surround more with a little more experienced people, like people that actually have time now to let people know about their process and how they become successful. So I will do that more. To find people, I believe it's through people that already knows you somehow or have any contact related. We get a lot of recommendations from the same employees that are there. When I open a business, I will talk to friends or to people that I know if they know somebody that might be interested. Talk it over, and see what we can find that way with connections first, and then also I use a lot of online ads to get people that might be interested. And then it comes inside the organization, try to create a good atmosphere for them to work, to work in a good environment where they can be themselves, where they can make money also. For me, very important that my employees make money, in the restaurant. I always wanted to make good tips. Nobody wants to lose time, in any place, like making them feel like they're losing their time being there when it's low or not. I always try to look at those different scenarios and see what we can do to bring more people in, the restaurant, to make events, and to make specials. And they are the face of the company, especially in this business. You have to, people is in constant communication, especially when I hire a hostess. I always tell them they're the most important person of the restaurant, because when the customer walks in, and if the hostess gives them a bad face or they're on their phone or they're not paying attention, that's like the first image that you receive from a place. So the first person. So they're very important. Hey guys, thank you so much for choosing me for this project. I hope you guys can come into La Fiesta and have a good time. I'm gonna send you a special gift for everybody in this class, so you can come and enjoy a good cocktail.